There they were in a pile of little arms. And I remember I cried. I wept like some grandmother. I wanted to tear my teeth out. I didn't know what I wanted to do. And I want to remember it. I never want to forget it. I never want to forget. And then I realized, like I was shot. Like I was shot with a diamond bullet right through my forehead. And I thought, my God, the genius of that. The genius. The will to do that. Perfect. Genuine. Complete. Crystalline. Pure. Hey y'all, and welcome back to another episode of Kalila's Boulevard. Thank you. Hold the applause to the end. As y'all can tell from the title and from the monologue, today we'll be discussing Apocalypse Now. I'm gonna be doing a series, hopefully every week, of different legendary movies that haven't seen since I was little or that I haven't seen at all. And Apocalypse Now is definitely one that I don't remember seeing at all. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mom, in the comments, but I don't think I've seen this. I'm gonna do a monologue every week for y'all, and I'm going to be just like reviewing the movie, letting y'all know what I thought of it, if it's worth a watch, if y'all haven't seen it, and just what I think about it as an actor, director, poet, blah, blah, blah. As you can see, I took notes just in case y'all see me looking down. I did the thing, man. To me, the story had decent pacing. I enjoyed the fact that it was monologue based. Like, I love when the main character's like narrating. It really keeps the story flowing, you know what I'm saying? Lawrence Fishburne is in it, and yes, that's T, because he was so young, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Lawrence Fishburne, here you are doing your thing since young. I love that for you. For this movie to be from the late 70s, it was very crisp, and it looked like it could have came out today. Like, they could have just filtered it out to be made from the 70s, but it definitely looked like either AI's playing tricks on me or graphics are very real. It makes me empathize with each and every character, whether it was big or small. Even like seeing one of the mothers in the movie get killed on screen, I was like, whoa. Literally, you see her and then she's gone, and it just was like, ouch, you know what I'm saying? It was crazy. This shows you about going to war and having a heart, and then being conflicted of, you know, having to make certain decisions on go because everything's constantly moving. You don't really have time to think. The movie is really action-packed, and these guys can't catch a break. And this is like as I'm watching the movie. I don't want to give away any spoilers, so we're gonna skip past it. But the deaths in that movie, it hit me, okay? The acting in the movie, to every performance, felt like a different kind of movie, but it all worked together. So it was like everybody you met told a different perspective, but it all tied to what the movie was about in a way. It was really trippy, but really good. There's a character, Captain Benjamin Willard, played by Martin Sheen. He channeled internal dialogue. So he focused on his facial expressions and silence. And so even though you don't really like hear him speak a lot, you really see his emotion throughout the entire movie with just his face if you pay attention. And the voiceovers are reflective rather than explanatory, which I love. I love when like a character who has to monologue the whole movie. This happens all the time where it's like the guy sits next to the girl and then the girl goes, and then he sat next to me. It's good, and then it's like, we know. Like, it's a hit or miss for me with those, but like when now the girl is having the guy sit next to her, and then she's like, oh, this was my moment. You know, this is when I knew my time was right. Then it's like, ooh, that Yeah, definitely for all the actors out there, I definitely say let your body do the acting, because your director, the writer already gave you the words to say, but it won't hit as hard if you don't let yourself feel it. Let your body, let your face, eyes feel it. It makes a difference. Marlon Brando playing Colonel Kurtz, which y'all seen my monologue in the beginning, even though he appears late in the movie, he makes such a big impression, especially because you're waiting to meet him for so long. You know what I'm saying? So his performance was very slow, controlled, hypnotic, unpredictable. He's very soft spoken, so you're forced to lean in and really listen to him. I would say with Colonel Kurtz's character, what an actor could take away from that is just be confident in your stillness, because most of the time that's more intimidating. So like in the beginning, even though I'm not standing up, I really could have made a big deal out of that monologue, but instead I just let the words do the talking, because the words are already so horrifying. I don't really need to sit there and in your face. You know what I'm saying? No point. Robert Duvall played Lieutenant Colonel Kilgore, and to me, he was the most memorable performer of them all. He was charismatic, funny, and terrifying all at the same time. He loved the chaos of war. Literally, he said, "I love the smell of napalm in the morning." The lesson for him specifically is that, you know, you have to commit fully to the character and never judge them. When you're playing that character, you got to make sure you're believable. If you're committing to that specific role, be that role. Now, those were the three main characters that I really enjoyed watching throughout the movie, but there were all so many great performances throughout the entire movie. So anybody you choose to watch from that viewpoint, if it's not the main character, you're gonna get the same amount of notes and the same amount of things to pay attention to as an actor, as a performer. And I wish you luck watching this movie because it's heart-wrenching. But as you know, I'm not just an actor. I dabble in multiple forms of the art, so I decided to take each part of that movie and take notes on it. So also the directing portion of it, I love the vision, because Coppola doesn't just tell a war story, he creates an experience. He starts off as a military mission and slowly becomes more dreamlike and unsettling. So by the end of it, it feels like you're in a war and even traveling into somebody's psyche. And so the lesson for that as a director is that directors don't just tell the story, but they keep the audience involved too. You know, so you can't just tell the story and be like, oh, I think this is going to look nice, without paying attention to what the audience is going to feel while they watch it, because it does make a difference. And when it comes to the visual storytelling, a lot of the scenes are explained emotionally without any dialogue. With Benjamin Willard as well, like the main character does a great job of just like being silent and let his surroundings fill the room. So you see a lot of smoke, shadows, silhouettes, you know, and even characters become smaller when things are happening, so that you could really see what's going on, and they let the camera move slower so you could really feel that moment. You really have to ask the question, can I just show what the character's feeling rather than writing it down every single time? You know, because that's why things like standoff battles and westerns are so powerful, because you just have the subtle music and you just could zoom in on their facial expressions to see the fear and the anger in each person's eyes. It makes a difference. As I said in the beginning, when it comes to the pacing, some scenes are a bit long. As you can see, even with the monologue that I did, it's super long, but it's very impactful. So, you know, most audiences may be like, skip along. But if you really enjoy good art, good acting, it won't even seem long to you. So now, when it comes to cinematography, he let the lighting tell a story. The film over time becomes darker. And Kono Kurtz is partially visible, which is why obviously I didn't want to go dark, but I didn't turn on the lighting for my monologue because that scene is very like, you know, like, and many shots could be paused and turned into photographs, which I love. With the camera moving slower, although you can feel it, you can also really see every single thing involved in that shot. It builds suspense and it could follow the journey of it all. So it doesn't just show you the jungle, but it lets you feel trapped inside of it, so you can really be even more scared. And lastly, when it comes to the writing, it doesn't necessarily follow any specific structure, which I enjoy. The writing isn't trying to give you easy answers. It's less interested in explaining the war than exploring what the war does to people. And every step in the river feels like another piece of that larger question of just how people felt during that time. I can't wait to see all of the movies that I watch and all the ways that I'm able to explain it to y'all. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and peace out from Kalila's Boulevard. Until next time, keep on driving and circle back. Make sure y'all spin that block. Make sure to share it with all y'all friends so that y'all can learn more about Apocalypse Now and all the other movies I have to share. I'll see y'all later. Peace.